All right. Hello, everybody. How we doing out there? What's up? Thanks a lot for tuning in. I gotta say, I got some things I want to get off my chest here, uh, and here's what's been on my mind. It's like this. I've been trying to do the math about what's going on in my life, and in addition to what's taking place in all our lives, right? No matter what color you are, all of humanity. Meaning, everything begins with self. So, as I've shared before, that everybody is a product of the environment, no matter where you're from, whether the bottom or middle class or at the top. There's nothing wrong. Hopefully, there's no negative connotation with some of you folks that have heard it. Even though I got to be realistic and say that commonly in the ghetto hoods, where we hear a lot of words or um, phrases and quotes and statements and whatnot, is commonly uh, followed with a negative connotation, right? It harnesses a negative connotation, and it can differ due to the perception of the person, the knowledge of the person, if they have uh, particular sound right reasoning within their system, how educated they are, how knowledgeable they are of things that's taking place in our lives. And I say to myself, I know that we're all a product of the environment, looking to become a producer for the environment. So I'm trying to be mindful of the words that I use. And like I said, everything reflects on self primarily. So I just don't want to put out videos and sound recordings, even though I'm not going to lie, it can do a lot of great work onto those who will soak it up, digest it, and concede as much as adhere. Whatever's good for you, like a plate of food, you eat it. Whatever's not good, you leave it alone. I think what's happening is that we commonly feel good, or many people, I would have to say, not me. I can't say we and try to generalize it in this particular context, whereas I know a lot of people feel good about talking about other people or trying to use satire and try to humiliate and all these subliminal messages, and a lot of people like to see others do bad, and for some reason it makes them feel good, in addition to them not only seeing people do bad, but they want to do some bad themselves. Some people just like drama, and I wonder, I know there's a lot of complexities in life, especially adulthood, because you take on certain responsibilities and so many things that involve with adulthood, reputation, and a lot of things fall on the line that deals with you, and a lot of people hate to seem wrong. And I think this all comes from a place of having excessive pride, uh, being too egotistical in a negative way, especially. And it goes to show, which is without an ounce of doubt, that we really need proper therapy out here. Now, what bugs me out about that whole idea, and which I know is true, is nothing wrong with therapy. It's a beautiful thing. Many things can be therapeutic. It could be talking with a loved one, a family member, a professional therapist, drawing, driving. I love driving, man. Driving and listening to my jazz music, very therapeutic. This is why I give it up to the people in California, man. Y'all got, if this is reaching out to anybody in California, or if you ever been there, they got, California has the beautiful, one of the most beautifulest. Just made that on. I just made that word up. uh, Sunrise and sunset. I mean, the way that it looks upon that land, man, just out there is beautiful. I love riding. And there's many things that can be therapeutic. So, we adults here, and this is not for youngsters to hear. I guess for 18 and under. But I will have to say, sexual intercourse is very therapeutic. So, I say we indulge in these things a lot. There's many things that we indulge in. We don't necessarily have to have the money to do some of these things, although it may seem quite relevant, depending on what it is, right? You can put it into context or whatnot, but I know you feel me on that. So I asked myself, I said, yo, we got all these things that we indulging in, including myself here. Sometimes I may go grab a beer, like the feeling it gives me. I may toke my black and mild. I may certainly listen to my music, taking it back to the early 80s and 90s. I can watch a good movie. I may engage in a nice intellectual conversation with someone, flirt. I mean, there's many things that we can do. So I said, even in addition to the whole to the sexual nature of things, right? I said, with all these things that we're doing, why is it still? I guess you know what? I probably just answered the question right there in my head as it came to me. As it, why is there so much drama or nonsense, or it's not that kind of you know what, let me be quite frank here. I know I got a good heart and I have good intentions, but there's some things that I don't tolerate. Homosexuality is one of the largest things, and a lot of people are even scared to talk about it. They're ashamed to talk about it, and I think that's what's holding us back a lot, because I don't think people understand the spiritual aspect of such an indulgence, of such a perversion, such a wicked sexual deviant to who we are as God's children. Call it how you want. This is not to offend anybody, but commonly when I try to engage in conversation with these folks who are plagued, who are even those who are bisexual, it always gets to a point, and I don't know why. In fact, I do. I would have to say it has to do with that demon that's in them. But people don't seem to comprehend what I'm saying. It's like they want to search for more, and they want to hear something that makes them feel good about their being. Let me ask you something. If you knew somebody was a serial killer, and they feel they ain't nothing wrong with it because they feel like they've been done in, for whatever reason, they do what they do. Is it okay for them to be like, well, look, man, I hear what you're saying, but I got this going on, so I'm gonna continue being this wild mass serial killer or mass murderer, da da da. No. Hence why we need therapy out here. We need to have. I mean, listen. No one's perfect. I understand that. A lot of people try to lay claim to what's going on within them, and or try to give excuses as well, and say, hey, well, this and that. Well, I understand. But that don't mean because I understand, or we may understand, that it's okay. Because the truth of the matter is, especially from an African nation, and I know there's a lot of things that's taking place with the indoctrination of our people and post-colonialism and stress disorders that is certainly, it's like it's enabling more so. It's enabling what we continue to go through individually, as an individual, per collective, if you get what I'm saying. We give reasons for it. And some things we just don't want to, I guess some things people don't even want to deal with. But I want you to ask yourself, try to reason with me here. With all that we got, we don't gotta have money to have fun, man. We got each other. I could phone a friend. I could phone a cousin, my mom's, my sister, whoever. What is it that's keeping us from that real happiness? You know what I'm saying? When we on the train, when we on the bus, when we out in public places, it's like it's always eerie. And I know it's not just me. Is it the corruption of law? We're gonna blame it on law. We're gonna blame it on politics, even though it is. These things are involved in our everyday lives, and no matter where you are, you have laws, regulations, and rules that govern the land. And those who govern the land are those who have power and dominion in such proximities. But I take a good look around on the train and the bus when I walk into, let's say, if I walk into a hospital to use the restroom, wherever I go, the airport, I'm looking at signs. The sign doesn't speak vocally as I'm speaking to you, but there's a sign to say, hey, look, no smoking here, no loud music, this, that, and the third. And most people will comply. But when we get a word from someone, and because they may not look the part, and when I say the part, they may not look, or they may not look a certain way that's pleasing onto someone, but when they say something that's very true and pertinent, it's like they get bypassed, they get overlooked, they get shunned, they get rebuked. Why? Rather than being comprehensive to things, we can assess it. You get me? And if it doesn't make sense, if it don't apply, let it fly. If it don't make sense, well, there's no relevance. Honestly, man. Yeah. Commonly, when I'm looking to talk to people and I start getting deep, the phone call from somewhere always comes in. I said it before and I'll say it again. I said it a few times in my videos and even in public, even to people that I've talked to, I said, I knew it was coming. It always happened. So I know that there's something going on here. But we don't want to, I'm not saying that to, try to spook you, but it's just real. And I think when we fight together, as much as we fight individually, like I said, as individual per collective, where one or two are gathered in whose name, there the spirit is. I just had to throw that in there real quick. Well, I don't understand. What's all these upheavals and the tension and the eeriness and all the homosexuality? The ignorance, the violence, pestilence. You mean to tell me that we're going to keep praying, God is so benevolent, life-giving, but still we got all this nonsense taking place and we can't seem to... this is really... It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Well, I'm going to tell you, we need to get more knowledgeable on spiritual things. And I would advise you to pass this on. So please adhere to what I'm saying. Do your study and do your science. Do the science to things. There are many things that displeases the Father, the Heavenly Father, and the Heavenly Mother, Mother Nature and the Holy Father. We got to get the spiritual knowledge We got to get this down packed, y'all. I do understand that wherever there's poverty, there's crime, there's violence, there's diseases, there's plagues, as an individual per collective. And this is where we can get into the whole concept of energy. So I know there's many things to learn. There's many things to uh, become knowledgeable of, and after we learn these things and harnessing certain amounts of knowledge, now comes not just being a hearer of the word, a learner of the word, but a doer. I believe there's a lot of faults in our religion, or maybe the way that it's preached and practice thereof. And that would have to do with the understanding of the individual. Some people may be asking how I do what I do in some regards. However, as I said before, and I said it many times, and I'll say it again, I'm looking for questions, I'm looking for comments, I'm looking for someone to strike up a conversation with me, or even when I'm out there and I speak to people, it don't even have to be too long, because I like to be candid. I like to be precise as I can, be thorough and factual and rational. I can reason. But every time it gets somewhere, there's an interruption. That person got to go. Yo, I got to take this phone call. Yo, it was nice talking with you, bro. All right, yo, later. Rather than get the full 100. It seems to me that people just are becoming satisfied with the crumbs and satisfied with just what is, because they're fearful. They are incomprehensive. This is not to diss anybody or ridicule or mock, humiliate. No, I'm just putting it out there. I'm expressing myself. If it's up for debate, let's go. Iron sharpens iron. And, I know there's a lot of things that took place with, you know what? Money have a lot to do with it too. Because I know that money is a very powerful leveraging tool. It's a very manipulative tool. So I guess there's no one size fits all, and there's no look. We shouldn't mind the challenge. I believe that once you got each other's back, you got people that love you and they support you, and you support them by whatever means. But there you have it. And that's another thing. As I said recently, quoting scripture, where one or two are gathered in my name in the book of Matthew, I said, one or two. I said, well, okay, let me think about that. One or two. We dealing with numbers here. It said one or two. Okay, we talk about numbers, and there, one or two are gathered in my name, there I am. Now that's up to spirit. So we got numbers and we got a spiritual aspect. But one or two, when I look in front of me right now, I can estimate. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see 14, 15 people in front of me right now. So you mean to tell me, in the midst of these 15 people, there's not one or two where there's righteousness, where there's holiness? I see a guy walking in the door right now. He has a feminine walk on him. There goes that homosexual spirit, which is commonly everywhere. That's a perversion. Some people say, yo, you got to have balance. And then I say to myself, as I ask, and I've said to many people out in public, I said it in video before, that, well, if that's the case, how come the most melanated are living so degenerated? Melanin is a wonderful, wonderful thing for humans. That's a direct link to the Creator. It is a sustaining biological chemistry within the body, which is why those who are most melanated dominate at sports and whatever else. And we age well. So if people want to try to give not credence, but more reason for their indulgences of wickedness and sexual deviance. Well, talk about balance. Well, how come those who are the most melanated, which is of the chosen, more so, we have the ability to bring heaven on earth like no other group can, and we can bring heaven on hell like no other group can. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. There are signs of that if you just open up your eye. So if it's about this balance and for continual indulgences, then how come we not winning as African people? Where we got to go through these wild struggles and fights just to have land or deli store, this, that, and the third. What kind of compromises are taking place? How is it that somebody can get arrested, go in the correctional facility seeking correction, but inside there are some wicked things taking place? So what kind of correction are they getting? How are they coming out? Do you follow? Yo, bro, I don't know. Yeah, we don't know. A lot of us don't know. Or a lot may not know because they don't know the spirit. We lacking knowledge in that, y'all. And we playing with this thing. Why? Because things are so fixed. We can go ahead and lay claim to a systematic construct, fine. But within these constructs, whatever you want to call it, we still got vegetables that grow. We still got fruits that grow. We got farming taking place. We have textile industry taking place. Everything is going. Everything is moving. People need to think about what they're saying before they just want to regurgitate things or just go with this notion or a concept or a narrative. Because if you're going to give reasons for that wickedness, well, then you're saying in itself, what it's saying within itself is that God is also corrupt. God is also homosexual. As I've seen signs of white folks out in some pictures on my reel or on these media platforms, oh, Jesus is, where it says Jesus is transgender and all of this. Now, they can put up these things and it's all fine and then it's all good. It's all fine. Here I am trying to reason and putting these questions out there so we can think more critically and then do away with certain things so we can live better. But yet here I am facing the wiles of the world and meeting the devil face to face all the time. So I tell you, you see, I'm not that kind of brother. I'm not that kind of man that would be so quick to want to throw a hand or throw a fight, get it on just for, oh, my feelings may be hurt. Hey, wait a minute, we're all human. Because like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, I don't know which video I said this on, but I said, if it's a matter of physical prowess, well, we can get it on. I big up my chest, I big up my body, and I got it going on like Bruce Lee, and I can whip anybody's ass. Does that give me a reason to say what I want to say in public places, in certain circles and areas, just because I have what I have? Would it make it all right? Would it validate the reasons for me going on and cussing or saying what I want to say without trying to be a unlawful citizen within society? And not just for the pleasing of people or someone else or just society, but primarily of that of self and the God that resides within you and me. In fact, by challenging what I'm saying here, I would also challenge you as well to say, hey, give it a shot. Whenever that spirit trying to tell you to do that, don't do it. And see what happens. But be fervent. Be real in your heart with it. And whatever's taking place within you or around you, when you abstain from these things, go ahead and tell your testimony. Let it be known. A brother said to me, "We all one large family." Well, we all one large family, but we still got all this nonsense going on. A lot of the elders that I see now, this is without a doubt, environmental factors surely have a dealing in this, because within the environmental factors such as politics, sciences, in which you got micromanagement, macromanagement, and people that can manipulate these devices. They can manipulate you in a certain way. We got witchcraft taking place, voodoo, whatever you want to call it. Well, like I said before, there's many negative connotations that go with these things, and it doesn't have to be so. By accentuating the positive and making proper sense of it, we can start to live in a better world. But I mean, would it be too boring? And let me say this, man, because I'm coming to a close here now. Is that you know, I don't deal with injustices onto other people. But I gotta say this. I mean, for what it's worth, man, as I look at it. For the Euros to continually have power and prowess, a place like New York City and in America, and many places around the world, even though many places have gained their independency, and they certainly don't have melanin like we do, African brothers and sisters, but they still continue to establish and maintain and have what they have by all means. Well, what does that say within itself? Do you follow? To continually make money off the ghetto, to make money off places of poverty, to control and continually regulate, that takes willpower, that takes skill, that takes greatness. Now, I'm not saying that to say, oh, because they got it like that, we should continue to just have things going on such and such. No, man, but I just said, wow, that hit me. I believe the less melanated you are, the more fight you have also. The greater the fight as well. Because what? You'll be more prone to deadly diseases and plagues and maladies and such. Which may what? Induce fear. And of course, living with fear and by fear will certainly cut the lifespan short. So what is it that we're dealing with, brothers and sisters of all colors and creed, where we want to give reasons for these indulgences and just let it be okay? Oh, yo, man, just mind your business and do your thing. Well, for as long as we've been saying that, please tell me, when you take a look at our heritage, when you take a look at our culture, I mean, the birth of hip-hop started right here in New York City, in the Bronx. Many things was birthed here, in addition to the people that put forth these works in the medias, filming, music, any kind of art form that's encompassed within the culture of people. This is what we got in 2025. We're going to mind our business. We on the bus, we on the train, the person going crazy, and we letting it rock. These people need therapy. They go that word again, therapy. We need it, y'all. But we got too much pride out here. A lot of false pride and false pretenses. Right, I'm telling you. So when people talk about love out here, I don't know what kind of love people is talking about. I believe as it is, if it is love, well, that love is perverted also. And that love is weak. That love is not holy. That love is not righteous. Pretty much. It may be established out here in measure, but very minimally, I would have to say. Because it seems that a lot of people is doing what they doing just for the love of money, which is the root of all evil. And I see evil, and I feel it in a lot of places. For the fact that even the elders and generations ahead of me, the way that they live, the faces that be on they look when they got to go home at 2 o'clock in the morning from these jobs that they work in, which I feel they don't even need to be working. Well, yeah, like I said, man, I got to give it up for my European family. I'm not justifying no wickedness here, but I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there to continually make money off the ghetto, exploit, use, manipulate, dictate. I mean, wow, man, wow. We can lay claim to post traumatic disorders, ADHD. No matter what it is, the problem and the solution is always forever inseparable. So come on now. I guess it's all a matter of getting it in righteousness and getting it in the proper way. Because a lot of things that people have or have gotten, I wonder how they got it. We got to be more real with ourselves, y'all, and real with each other. To me, that's real love. That's real love. And as I close, I'm about to pull up that great, wonderful sister Mary J. Blige and rock that song after I'm done with this recording. I'm gonna go right to that song, Real Love by Mary J. And then listen to some Earth, Wind and Fire. Cause Lord knows many people need devotion out here. Okay? So pass this word on. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. This is Leo Isaiah Bridges, and there's more to come. I just need your word. I need your cooperation. I need you to hear me. I need you to feel me, and show some love. All right? I'll be on standby waiting for such. Peace, love, and light, y'all. Have a good day and a good night.